hello, Kate.
Hi, Sarah. We're
Wow.
back. We're back at it.
We're back at it. How's it
Yeah.
going today?
It is going today. It's a good time to do another episode.
It's a great time to do another episode
Yeah.
of The Long Game.
Yeah, the long game.
The Long Game.
And what are we going to be talking about today, Sarah?
Oh my gosh, we are going to be talking about the number one contested issue in like all of fitness. What smartwatch should I get?
This is a topic out there.
It is, and everyone has their own opinions, and there are like die-hard camps for every single watch.
Very,
out there.
very strongly opinionated, I feel like. So yeah, I think it's something that we got to break down
Gotta break it down.
based off of what you have, what I have, and we'll just kind of keep it there in that conversation. Obviously, there's many different fitness trackers out there, but you have a Garmin.
I do.
And I have an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
So
You can sense the tension already.
right. So we definitely have
A point of view.
yes.
Each of us do, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And what's more is I started out with an Apple Watch, actually.
Okay.
And then I switched over to Garmin.
Okay. Well, why don't you speak a little bit out on that?
I definitely
Tell us
can.
how we went from Apple to Garmin.
Okay. So I used an Apple Watch for like 3 or 4 years, I think. Like when I started running, and then as like the distances that I was running like became more like longer.
Yeah.
I started having issues. I noticed that like whenever I ran a marathon or whatever, like my battery died. Even if I'd like charged it all the way.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was like a watch issue, a brand issue, a watch specific issue. I'm not really sure, but like I just found myself getting annoyed because like I personally, for my needs, it wasn't like the battery life just wasn't holding up. But I will say I loved like the smart features of it.
Yeah.
I loved that you could like pick up the phone if you couldn't, because I can never find my phone, like literally ever.
Yeah.
You can attest
I
to
can
this.
attest to this.
As someone
So
who's
true.
Called my phone many times to help me find it.
Yes, you were always losing it.
It was really nice to be able to like pick up the call, and you can like pick up the call on your Garmin watch, or you can, but I don't have audio built into mine. I don't think if there is audio like built in that I don't know about, someone can drop a comment and please let me know.
Somebody please help Sarah.
Because I've lived without audio for phone calls on my watch for 2 years now.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Great.
But anyway, I mean, I think that's my overall take on it. Like, I liked both, but I just think like for my needs, they changed, and like we can dive into that a little bit more of like specific needs and like what each watch kind of provides for you.
Right.
But can you speak to why you like, or why you have an Apple Watch?
Yeah. So I have only ever worn Apple watches for my fitness tracking. I've never experienced any other sort of tracker. And I think just having been built into the Apple ecosystem of having a Mac and an iPhone and AirPods and like every single Apple product basically that exists. Sorry, Samsung, but I cannot stand the Androids. But yeah, I think just having all the Apple products, and I just wanted everything to be so cohesive. And I think it's been really nice to just have everything synced up, like contacts and like the phone calls, or like, when I'm not near my phone, I can just do that. And so, I have the SE. I've had it for 4 years now. And it's been super like chill for me, like as far as the things that I just use on a regular basis for, whether it's life, but also for working out. I will say that like, and I don't know if this is because, it's been 4 years and maybe the battery life, which we're going to talk about, is starting to, die down a little bit, I feel like, in terms of how long it can kind of go for each day. And so now I'm kind of starting to think about like, okay, like, do I just need to get a new Apple Watch, like a newer version? Do I need to start thinking about a Garmin or something else?
Get the Garmin.
But I am so loyal to Apple, which might be a problem. That I am starting to kind of like figure out, and especially now that I'm like training for this half marathon and potentially like a marathon, and like you just mentioned, like I don't want this to die like as I'm racing. Like I really need something that's gonna withstand the whole thing, because I have had a few instances which we'll dive into, but anyways, Apple has just been very consistent for me as a whole, and my family has them. So I think, my parents got it for me as a gift, and so of course, I gotta wear it.
Yeah.
But it's been pretty good. Can't complain.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, solid. I think we're gonna like go through a list sort
Yes.
of and break down like from specific models, like
Yeah.
the most commonly used models of each that are new-ish on
Yeah.
the market. We're gonna go through like battery life, GPS, fitness metrics. I feel like that's the big thing. That
Yes.
battery life and fitness metrics are the two biggest.
Yeah.
And then things like recovery, sleep, user experience.
Right.
Different features you get with each, and then just like overall comfort is pretty much what we're going to cover in this. And you'll get everyone watching this will get like two unique takes, because obviously you have your point of view, and I have mine.
Yes. That's what we're here for.
And I'm usually right.
That is a crazy statement.
And then we'll just kind of break down like, okay, so who should buy what based on like everything that we just went through.
I think so.
But before we do that, it's our favorite segment in this podcast.
Yes.
And that is
Beer break.
So today we have, do you know how to say this?
Honestly, I was hoping you.
I really need you to say this because I can't pronounce it.
I'm gonna guess and say this says Klostaller.
Klostaller.
Yeah, there's got to be an accent. Well, obviously it's a German pioneer of NA brews. Apparently that's what it says on the beer. But yeah,
Does Germany
don't
do
know.
IPAs in general? Like,
they do now.
And is that okay for me to say on this podcast?
Yeah, I hope so.
Because I feel like they're known for, I mean.
Can you just open your beer?
Now I don't even know what German
Goodness.
are known for. Pilsners?
I don't know.
Oh God. Maybe we'll cut this part.
I'm thinking it's Klostaller or Haler. All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh.
Do you like it? I haven't had it yet.
I don't know. I don't
like
know,
that.
right? I think
don't like that.
at first I was like, but now I'm like the aftertaste is not.
Okay.
I'm glad I only bought 2.
Yeah.
I almost bought the full
Like,
6-pack.
I'm gonna drink it.
I'm
Don't
gonna
get me
drink
wrong.
it, of course.
But
I what do you?
that doesn't even taste like an IPA.
No,
Does
it kind of
It
tastes.
tastes more like a stout, but it's not a full stout.
It says, no, it's a.
No, I know it's not a stout, but like
It says Cascade hops.
I have no idea what that means.
Maybe that.
What are Cascade?
I don't know, but I'm now thinking it's because of that. I don't know.
I don't know. I told you this like before we started recording, but I had their.
Wasn't it like a Christmas one or something?
Yeah, it was like a Christmas brew, and it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
So I was like excited to try a new flavor, but that is now 2 strikes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Klostaller.
I don't know how to describe it other than like, it kind of tastes like stale or something.
Yes.
Like,
that's what it is.
yeah.
It tastes like a little stale.
Right?
Yeah. But
Sorry,
Klostaller.
Sorry, guys.
We will always give you an honest
We
review.
will not fake any of these
No,
reviews.
we will not.
But I'm glad that we both stand on the same
Same
side.
page on this one, yeah.
We'll still drink it, but
Yes,
we
still
we
drink it.
will
It's
just
not.
not.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's just
it's
like
not like great, and that's okay.
And that's okay.
You can't win 'em all.
You can't win them all.
Well, that was beer break.
That was beer break.
So I guess talking about our different fitness trackers.
Yep.
I think the first thing we got to talk about is battery life.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit about Garmin and what that looks like?
Yeah. So I'm gonna go off the like Phoenix model because I
Okay.
feel like that one's pretty widely used in general,
Okay.
like that and the Forerunner or
Okay.
what I see most friends using,
Sweet.
like most commonly. So the Fingal display.
Yeah, that tongue twister.
The Phoenix display lasts. So Garmin's website says that it lasts weeks on a single charge, which I think it could if you're.
Weeks?
It says weeks, yeah.
On a single charge.
That's what it says.
That's crazy. Okay.
I know. I pulled it from Herman Miller's website.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, it says it can last like multiple days, multiple weeks on a single charge, which is perfect for like marathon runners. So they don't have to worry about like their watch dying during a long run.
Yeah.
And I would say that. I would say like if your watch is like charged well and it's maybe not the first day or whatever, first or second or like it's not, if it's not like later on in the charge cycle, I would say that yeah, Garmin's are gonna die on you mid-run.
Yeah.
Like, but I'd say if you're at like 10%, I wouldn't go on a long run with it, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know
okay.
what I mean?
Okay.
That's what I've found in my personal experience. Some watches apparently last for weeks, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Interesting.
have found that the most I can get through with my Phoenix 7S is a week, which like is pretty good, all things considered. Like that's a crazy long time for
That's
a watch
really
to last. Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. But if my training load's higher and I'm doing longer runs, usually it's like 4 or 5 days.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Wow, that is super impressive.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. It was a big shift, like when I changed from my Apple Watch, because you do have to charge that. Yeah,
Yes.
Can you talk about like how much you have to charge that?
Yeah, I have to charge it every single day. Wow, I am still processing that. Yeah, I have to charge mine every single day. I get up for work and then I go to work and I work out when I'm at work, so that already eats up some battery there. And then if I'm trying to do a second workout in the day, that's going to eat up more battery. And I just had this happen recently where I did my strength training in the morning. Hours go by. I'm like, I'm going to go on a 5-mile run. And it's important that these runs get tracked. Otherwise, it doesn't count. So I got like the little buzzing, like, hey, 10% battery life. And I was like, oh, no.
Yeah.
Like,
it's the worst feeling.
yeah.
ever.
I was like, okay, like I have to like book it, like
That made you
sprint.
run.
Yeah.
So arguably, maybe it's better. For
maybe
your
like the
training.
motivation was like, oh my gosh, this cannot die on me. And luckily, like I checked at the very end, it was like 2%. I like finished my run. I stopped it.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I did that, it died. And I was like, whew, that was a close one. And that was so scary. Because I was trying to get my 5 miles in, and I was like at 4.8 or whatever, and I was like, oh my gosh, please, like I'm almost there. And so like that stressed me out because I was like, I can't have that if I'm trying to work out multiple times during the day. Or if I'm
maybe good for Kate's split.
maybe. But also like if I am gonna do, like I said, the half marathon and then the LA full, like I can't even imagine if this thing dies on me.
Yeah.
I would be so pissed.
Yeah.
So with the battery life, just with the research, I have an SE. With that, and we're talking about like also the Apple Watch Series 10 has a battery life of up to 18 hours, which is not a couple of weeks like yours, which is so crazy. It can go for 36 hours on low power mode, and that's from Garage Gym Reviews. But yeah.
Sorry, I just
Did
spilled
you just
beer on
spill?
myself.
Well, that's fine. We don't like this one anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I have started to notice that the battery life is not the greatest when it comes to having one big long workout or multiple workouts throughout the day. So I'm always coming home, and the first thing I do is charge my Apple Watch.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Kind of a
sense.
bummer.
I mean, it basically like it sort of sounds like I mean, obviously, I think the Garmin's better. Like,
Of course.
but it kind of sounds like in terms of if you're looking for a fitness tracker, if you're just like the general person.
Yes.
How many times a day do you work out? If it's more than once,
right,
maybe you'd want something that can last a little bit longer. If
Yeah.
it is like once a day or like once, like fewer times a week, like the Apple Watch might be perfect.
Yeah. I think before I got into running and I started kind of doubling up on my workouts every day, I was fine. You know, like I was like, cool, like I don't.
Good for a lift a day.
Yeah. Truly, like
or run a day
or whatever, exactly. But there are days when I double up, and that's when it kind of gets a little, especially as like with the training plan you created me, like on those long runs, like I'm like, okay, like
My
now I
watch
have
has
to be charged. Yeah, because then I was like stressed that it didn't get synced up to Strava, and then it like once I charged it back home, then it like uploaded to Strava, because I was like, oh no, now I have to like manually input this on Strava, and I don't want to do that. I was stressed, but
I didn't know that this was like a secret stressor.
I need the people to know what I'm doing on Strava. So yeah, with that, I will say battery life on Garmin versus Apple, depending on your needs. You know, obviously, if you're a little bit more intensive an athlete and doing a multitude of things, couple times a day, I would say the Garmin takes the W on that. But if you're just somebody who's, you know, doesn't work out like a ton and just like, you know, once a day or whatever and whatnot, then Apple Watch is fine for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Sweet.
I think we can cover the next one pretty quickly. GPS accuracy.
Yeah.
I mean, according to a few websites, the Garmin Forerunner 965 has a map value under 10%, making it very accurate. The Apple Watch map value is over 10%, so it's less precise. With Garmin, you can map hikes and bikes and routes for those and track it does track elevation, which is really nice.
The Garmin?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it can give detailed trail info if that's like already been pre-built, which is really great for like ultras and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Apple can be great for cities, but maybe isn't quite as good with routes in the wild.
Right.
But I at the end of the day, like, for me, I don't see it as like, I've never really thought about it from like a GPS perspective.
Right, same.
Personally, which maybe I should, but I don't really.
Yeah, same. I haven't really like cared too much, I guess, on that, and maybe I should. Now that I'm running, but I will say I feel like Garmin probably takes it into account a little bit more.
Yeah, I think there's just like more features there that you can use on it if you're gonna be like doing backcountry hiking or like I mean like hiking, if you're gonna be doing like trail runs anywhere, like it might matter, be beneficial.
Yeah, in that instance, but otherwise I'm kind of like whatever. This is the one that everyone loves. This next topic,
of course,
is the metrics.
Yes.
The fitness metrics.
Yes.
Do you want to break down Apple first, like kind of what they have? And
what's helpful for you?
In terms of the fitness metrics on an Apple Watch, we've got everybody's like always about the activity rings, like closing those rings every day. It is something that I do enjoy. I will say, when I know that I've closed all my rings, I'm like, so yeah, for those activity rings, we have the move, we have the exercise, we have the stand. So yeah, how much you're moving, exercising, how much you're standing per day. You get to set all those things, whatever those goals are for you. So I can't remember what mine are on the top of my head, but I think for standing, I'm like, I always want to like stand like for 11 to 12 hours a day or something like that. And for exercise, I don't know, there's a certain amount of minutes and moving like certain amount of steps or whatever. Okay. But yeah, like I'm always trying to make sure that I hit all those. So I think it's cool that like Apple lets you decide what that looks like for you.
Yeah.
And then obviously like tracking like how many, like there's so many workouts you can choose from. So I really enjoy like the amount that they have on there, because like I remember when I started getting into pickleball recently, I was kind of like, is there a pickleball option, and I was like, oh, well, yeah, they've got pickleball on here.
Nice.
And then there's like just random things on there that I've never even heard of, and I'm just like, wow, this is awesome. Like, they really have kind of catered to, I think, just a multitude of activities and sports, and I think that's always been pretty fun. And I also didn't know that I think you can swim. Like, you can't, yeah. And I didn't know that either. So I was like, cool, like, that's a nice thing. Not that that has to do with, like, the metric, but, like, I saw it on, like, when I saw swimming on here, I was like, wait a second. And I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they're definitely, like, as the trends and of, you know, what activities are going strong out there, I think they're starting to, like, add a lot more of that. So I really do appreciate that. And it's just, like, really cool because then I can, like, once I'm done with my workout, especially, like, when I'm running or whatever, lifting, it automatically just goes to Strava. And so I don't have to worry about having to, like, okay, I've done this here. Now I have to go and manual. Yeah, like, it just already syncs up. So I'm like, perfect. So that's really cool. What about Garmin?
Yeah, well, Garmin does have pickleball. I've just got to say.
We love that.
I'd say they have, like, a pretty wide range of activities as well. Like, some general sports. But then I think they're a little bit more focused on, like, outdoor sports, just in, like, their offerings. Like, maybe just a more varied option, perhaps, than, like, Apple is what I noticed when I switched over.
Right.
I think, like, the biggest perk of Garmin in terms of metrics is it breaks down your, like, in run or in workout, like, heart rate value, your VO2 max, your running power. It can also, like, in the health stats portion, which I think is really cool, it, like, estimates your fitness age based on all the data it gathers.
That's
so
cool.
according to Garmin, I'm 20 years old.
Wow. Look at you.
When I get actually pissed now, it might have gone up to, like, I think it's, like, up to 21.5 now, and I'm really mad.
You're like,
about
wait,
that.
what?
Yeah.
I'm aging on you?
When I was running ultras like crazy, I was, like, 19 for a while.
That's insane.
And I was like, hell, and then it went up to 21, 22, and I was like,
yeah, you're like, that's rude.
that's rude. I am much older than that, by the way. Just so no one's like, oh my god, she's 22.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I mean, I think, like, those metrics are really nice. But it comes down to, I think, for both of them, it's like, it comes down to, like, what suits your needs best. Like, are you the kind of person who, like, you want more metrics and you want to know and it's, like, fun for you? Or is it going to, like, freak you out to, like, be able to see all that and you're going to get overwhelmed?
Right, yeah. So, like, yeah, I guess kind of depends on your goals, your needs. Like, again, kind of just going back to, like, if you're just a general person in terms of, like, how you approach fitness, I just kind of feel like Apple Watch is fine.
Yeah.
You know? But I think if you're somebody who's like, oh, I need every piece of
I
data.
need my VO2 max so that I can tell everyone at the run club.
Exactly, yes. Then I would say Garmin, for sure, definitely. Yeah. Well, obviously, I think a big one here is recovery and sleep.
Yeah. I'm, like, annoyed about this, that we have to include this part. But.
I will be honest that with the Apple Watch, I don't actually use the sleeping. Like, I don't really.
You take it off.
Yeah. So, I can't speak too much on experience with it. But I will obviously talk about, I think, just kind of what people say. So what do you, well, I guess, yeah, what do you use it for Garmin?
I used to use it a lot, but then I got tired of Garmin telling me that I was sleeping like shit and not ready to train.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah, I know. Garmin's very sassy. She's incredibly sassy. It can basically track, like, the biggest feature I think for sleep that it, like, provides value on is, like, your heart rate value.
Okay.
Which, like, it'll track it over, like, an average, it'll, like, generate, like, an average over, like, 4 to 7 day periods, I think.
Okay.
And, like, obviously your heart rate value, like, if there are significant spikes or changes in it, like, that can indicate illness.
Okay.
Or, like, extreme environment changes, etc. So, like, I don't know. I also started taking my watch off at night because I started to just like get annoyed seeing that. And it's also just like a little bit more comfortable to not sleep with a watch
I was gonna
on.
say, I feel like I don't know how people do that. Like, how are you?
So I just like kind of stopped, and I feel like I sleep better now that I'm not like worried about what Garmin is gonna say about my sleep. And recovery.
Yeah. No, that's totally fair. It looks like for Apple Watch that you can create sleep schedules to help meet your sleep goals.
Okay.
And then, yeah, it can just basically estimate the time you spent in each sleep stage. So your REM cycle, core, and your deep. So I think that's pretty cool. Like kind of breaking that down if that's something that you care about, especially when it comes to recovery.
Yeah.
Recovery is huge with training. And I think just kind of making sure that you're sleeping enough and how many hours you're spending in each stage. Like if that's something that you truly care about, then that's cool that Apple can like do that.
Yeah.
For myself, I personally don't care. I'm kind of just like, yeah, I think I got like, 8 hours. I don't need to actually see what it looks like. Maybe one day I will care maybe a little bit more. But I think right now, like, it's okay, so.
Yeah, we only have so much time in the day.
Yeah.
I think we can kind of blend the next two, which is like user experience and smart features,
like,
into one little master section.
Sure.
I think for Garmin, like, in terms of user experience, it was like a pretty big switch going from Apple to Garmin, and it's not necessarily like user friendly, I would say, for someone who's not familiar with like smartwatch, or who comes over from like a more like a simpler interface like Apple.
Yeah.
It definitely took me like a few days to like kind of get used to all of the buttons and quirks and how to navigate it. It's definitely not as friendly as Apple.
Okay.
Has been my experience.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Apple is pretty chill. Like, it's just, like, very straightforward, especially if you have Apple products all the way through.
It's just kind of already...
It was already kind of integrated into everything where it was like, okay, cool. Like, we're just going to sync everything up and you're basically good to go. Like, everything's really easy to navigate. I'm not stressed out on any of the apps that they have on here, like, trying to figure it out. It's very, like, simple and easy.
I think it comes down to like, should your watch require a tutorial to use it or not? And I'm in the camp of no, it should not.
It should not. Yeah, it shouldn't. Yeah. I think the simpler the better.
Yeah.
In terms of like how you want to use it. Yeah, I think that's fair. So, with the smart features, what can you speak on with Garmin?
Yeah, I mean, I can speak a lot to that.
Okay.
It hooks up to like all the major fitness apps, which is great, like MyFitnessPal and Strava. And it does, you were saying this earlier, I think, but it does automatically log to Strava, which is really nice.
Right, yes.
Like, that would have been like probably actually a big for me.
I have to input this?
I have to input this to my Strava that people need to know.
Right.
So that's really cool. I think that my two, like, in terms of like smart features for like a smartwatch, I would not, if you're someone who is looking for a smartwatch, like something that you can text off of, easily take calls from, like pay for stuff like from your watch, Garmin can do that, but I like have never tried to hook it up because I just get confused every time I try to hook it up. But I know friends like who have and use it, and like they seem to like it.
Sweet.
But like, yeah, for texting calls, like it's definitely, I just think it's more of a like activity watch than like, oh, let me integrate this into my life type of smartwatch to like act as an accessory.
Right. Okay.
To my other devices.
Okay. Yeah. For Apple, I mean, it's pretty like friendly with, I mean, it's a smartwatch, so so
a more general like smartwatch.
Yes. So I think just obviously having an iPhone and like everything is just, it's all synced up, as I've mentioned many times now. But yeah, I do appreciate like that everything is just all on here. Like if I'm not near my phone, I was going to speak on, oh yeah, well yeah, because Apple has Siri. Does Garmin, can you speak into your watch?
I wish I knew the answer to that. I don't think you can. No.
Okay.
I've never tried, but I don't think it does.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I am also curious to ask, because I know Apple does this where if, I've never had this happen to me, thank God, but I do, I have heard that, like, if let's say you're hiking alone.
Oh my God. Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Wait, do you? Hold on.
I think so. Keep
Okay.
going.
If you're hiking alone and you have a really bad fall, Apple will detect that and they'll call your emergency contact.
Yeah.
Can Garmin do that?
Garmin has done that for me multiple times.
Oh, really?
And
For you?
And I haven't fallen.
What have you done?
Like I'm like running. Like I'm running through the woods and I like.
And it calls your emergency contact?
Yeah, like it's like I like either go down fast or like am going up a hill fast or something, or I like kind of trip on a route but I don't actually fall, and then it like calls my mom, and then I get a panicked call from my mom like 4 hours later when I get off the trails. And it's like it's also stressful because it does this thing where it's like incident detected, detected.
Funny.
And it starts like a countdown on your watch.
Really? That's kind of nerve-wracking.
I know, and I'm like, no.
Oh,
don't call
no.
my mom.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, obviously, I think it's a great
thing.
feature.
Yeah.
Especially if you're alone and something does actually happen.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's cool that they have built that into these watches.
Yeah.
So I guess that is a good thing.
I think it's a good feature.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
laughing
That's hilarious,
it's like
though.
a point of so much stress for me. When
That
I'm,
is
out on
so.
the trail.
Garmin's taking it to a whole other level.
But next up, we kind of have like comfort and build, which I think is another big thing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like with these two watches, I don't know how you feel about your.
Yeah, no, I have a very small wrist size. My wrists are tiny. So
I didn't know this about
it's
you.
so small. Like, I mean, like, it's just, I don't know. There's just so much room. It's just tiny. But anyway, I really appreciate, I don't have like the big like face that like some people do. Mine is on a smaller scale, which I think that's also something I take into consideration with the Garmin, because I'm like, that looks massive, and I feel like that would eat my. Maybe it wouldn't.
I mean, you can adjust it, but yeah.
Okay, but fair. Like,
it's a big face.
It's a big face.
Yeah.
So I do like, for me, I love that this is small enough to where it like fits perfectly on my wrist.
Yeah.
I do like these like silicone bands. I know you
They're
can
nice
change
for
them
sweat,
out, but for
yeah.
sweat, and that's why I really don't ever change them out, because I'm always just working out. So I feel like it's really easy to clean too.
Yeah.
So comfort and build, for me, it works out pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah. What about you?
I'm used to my Garmin now. When I first got it, I was like, whoa, this is kind of intense. Like, this is big. Like, it's not because I choose to be a part of the Garmin demographic. It's fine, and like I'll wear it to work and all of that, just because it's usually on me unless I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
It's a little bigger though, for sure. Like, I find it comfortable at this point because I've been wearing it for so long.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like switching over from the Apple Watch, it was definitely an adjustment because it's a lot bigger.
Okay.
And a little bit heavier too.
Yeah, that's kind of how I think I would feel probably if I were to switch.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. And how do we think about the prices for these trackers?
Prices.
So which model do you have?
I have the Phoenix 7S, which is the solar version. Which, honestly, if you were gonna buy one, I would not get the solar version because I literally don't think it does anything.
Really?
I like my friend Caitlin and I have like debated this like at great length. Not even debated, just both agreed angrily.
Okay. Love to bring Caitlin in right now. Caitlin, come out.
But we both got the solar versions, and we were like, it doesn't really seem to prolong anything.
Okay.
And we don't have anything to base that off of.
Yeah.
Because we never had the normal versions.
Yeah.
But if it's doing any charging, I feel like it's minimal. So
Gotcha.
and it's a little bit more expensive, so I would honestly recommend not getting the solar version.
Okay.
Because I question.
Okay.
If
All
it's
right.
worth the extra like $100.
Got it. Okay. So how much did you spend?
Yeah, the Phoenix 7S, I got it refurbished off the Garmin website.
Nice.
pretty soon after it had come out. It wasn't like brand new, but it was like one of the newer ones, and I think I got it for like $750.
Okay.
Now I think it would probably be like this particular model, the 7 would be much less than that now if you were to buy it refurbished. I think they're up to like the 8 or like the 9 at this point.
Nice.
Like, who knows? I can't keep track.
Yeah.
But like a Forerunner, which is like another model, which I know a lot of friends have and really like a lot. Like you can, like Phoenix is like the model above sort of, and like Forerunners, like the 165 runs at $250, the 265 runs at like $450, and then it just kind of goes up from there.
Okay, cool.
But that's like the general. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. For Apple Watch, I have the SE, and I did get that as a Christmas present from my parental units. They gave it to me 4 years ago, and they got it from Costco, so I can't speak on how much it was for there. However, just Googling it, an SE is about $249.
Okay.
And then we have the Series 10 you can get for $399 to $429, and an Ultra 2, which runs you about $799.
Gotcha.
So there's a whole, varies of pricing, and I think it really just depends on what you want, what you're looking for, what each one provides. Of course, I think that's with just, any product really.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess then who should buy what?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're new, my take is, I think if you're like new to working out or running or whatever, or longevity in general, and pursuing that in your life, I think you could either go with like if you want more metrics, like, and you want to be able to analyze it, it's not going to overwhelm you. I think you could go with like a lower model Garmin, but I would probably recommend like the app, like some version of the Apple Watches. I think it's just like less overwhelming and stressful, and it's easier to use at first.
Yeah.
And they tend to be a little bit lower in price point, I think, than the Garmin's.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's a little bit just, there's less of a ceiling, I think, there. And
Yeah.
it's a good place to start.
Yeah. I think it was good that I start with an Apple Watch, and then it kind of gives me an idea, like as I'm getting into these, longer distances and whatnot, just based off of my experience with an Apple Watch during those, moments. I think it kind of gives me an idea of like, okay, like what might make more sense for me. And that could be a Garmin, or it might be something else, or it might be an Apple Watch still. Who knows?
Yeah. That's the thing. A lot of people like stick with it because they just love it.
Yeah, exactly. They kind of just like the consistency of having everything just be one product. But yeah, and I think if you're somebody who can spend a little bit more money, and maybe you have like, maybe you're a little bit more intense with your workouts, then I think a Garmin would probably be your best bet. So I think it really just depends on your goals, your lifestyle, your price point, like just taking all those things into consideration. And then, if it doesn't work out, then go forget that one and go try something else, you know? So
sell it for some money. There's always going to be someone who wants some fitness tracker.
Exactly.
Somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. No, I definitely agree. So, wow.
Yeah, look at us go.
Look at us. We stayed pretty good with we didn't punch each other.
No,
that was
punching.
Good. No
I
punching.
still think that my watch is better though.
I will let you believe that.
All right, and on that note, I guess that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. We're gonna drink our, beers that we're not really fans of,
and then strategize on episode 3.
Yes. What is episode 3?
Oh, episode 3 is gonna be all about hybrid training.
Ooh.
Which I'm really excited.
I'm excited. About. This is gonna be a lengthy conversation. I feel like we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah. With
cardio and strength training, blending those two together. I'm excited.
And which one's more fun and better?
Yeah, we'll talk about that. All right. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap.